Today, we're diving into the work of Jan Fraser. She's an author with a really powerful insight into how we can find peace. And it's not about chasing it down, but about realizing it's already here. So let's just jump right in with a pretty big question. I mean, really think about it for a second. What would it actually feel like to move through your day, through your life, without that constant, low-level hum of anxiety? To just be truly at ease with things as they are. Well, that feeling, that's the very freedom we're going to explore. So where do most of us even start looking for this freedom? Well, let's talk about the way we all know so well, this constant chase for a feeling of peace that, always seems to be just around the corner. Does this sound familiar? I'll finally relax when I get this project done. Or I'll be at peace once I know the kids are settled. Or maybe I'll be happy when you can fill in the blank, right? We spend so much of our lives banking on a future moment to deliver the contentment we want right now. Jan Fraser has a name for this. She calls it the human condition. And really, it's just this endless cycle of wanting things, fearing things, and trying to control everything. We get caught up in this belief that if we can just arrange all the pieces of our life perfectly on the outside, then finally we'll feel that peace on the inside. But this is where Fraser's teaching really flips the script. It introduces a completely new way of looking at things that, it turns our whole idea of suffering upside down. Okay, so here's what we all tend to assume, right? Bad stuff happens, and that bad stuff makes us suffer. Simple as that. A tough conversation, losing a job, getting sick. We're convinced the pain comes directly from the event itself. But here is the radical shift. Fraser's insight is that the suffering doesn't actually come from the event. It comes from our resistance to the event. It's that voice in our head screaming, "This shouldn't be happening. This is wrong." That's the friction. That's the real source of the pain. And this points to something huge. If resistance is the cause of suffering, then peace isn't found by changing our life circumstances. It's found by changing our relationship to them, right here, right now. It was never hiding in the future to begin with. Okay, so if the key is to stop resisting, how in the world do we actually do that? Well, to get it, we first need to understand this really crucial distinction that Fraser makes about the two parts of ourselves. So on one hand, you've got what she calls the familiar self. This is your ego, your personality, the whole story of you, your job, your relationships, your history. And this is where suffering lives, because this self is always trying to defend itself and manage its story. But then there's the deeper self. This is just a quiet, witnessing presence. It's that part of you that's just pure awareness, the part that's always still and steady no matter what drama the familiar self is going through. And here's the most important part. This is not about declaring war on your ego or trying to get rid of your personality. No. The path to freedom is so much gentler. It's just about shifting who you think you are. It's about learning to watch that familiar self and all its struggles with a kind of warm, compassionate awareness from the viewpoint of that deeper, quieter presence. So this brings us to the how. This all sounds great in theory, but how do we actually start making this shift in the middle of a stressful Tuesday afternoon? And the best news is the path isn't complicated at all. It doesn't require years of meditation on a mountaintop. It really just boils down to one simple little shift, a move away from constantly doing something about your feelings and into simply noticing them. So here's what that looks like. First, just notice. A strong emotion pops up, anxiety, anger, whatever. Just see that it's there. Second, instead of immediately getting tangled up in it, just watch it with curiosity, like you're watching a cloud drift across the sky. It shows up, it hangs out for a bit, and eventually it moves on. And third, this is the game changer. Remember, you are not the cloud. You are the sky. You're the awareness that is watching the thought pass through. When you can do this, when you can just witness your own inner world without fighting it or judging it, something really amazing happens. A little bit of space opens up inside you. It's a quiet space of stillness that was actually there the whole time. It was just buried under all the noise. And as we start to live more and more from this quiet inner space, our whole experience of life, it just starts to change. Now, let's be clear. This doesn't mean life magically becomes perfect. The car will still break down. People will still be challenging. The ups and downs continue, but something inside of you stays steady through it all. Fear just doesn't have the same white-knuckle grip on you. you'll find that compassion for yourself and for other people just sort of shows up naturally. And you start to discover this deep contentment that has absolutely nothing to do with whether things are going your way or not. So, why does any of this matter? It matters because it means that in any given moment, no matter what's happening, you have a choice. You can stay lost in the chaotic storm of your own thinking, or you can choose to step out of the storm and into the profound, peaceful stillness of right now. That choice is always, always available. And that really brings us to the question that this whole teaching leaves us with. What if you just stopped searching, stopped waiting for freedom to show up one day in the future? What if it's not something you have to earn or achieve at all? What if it's already here, right now, closer than your own breath?
And that's where we'll wrap up today's journey, my friend. I hope you're walking away not just with new ideas, but with a lighter heart and a clearer vision of the life you truly want to live. If you're ready to go even deeper, to uncover the hidden truths about life they never taught you, then I've created something special for you. My PDF, The Truth About Life You Were Never Told, is waiting for you with insights that can change the way you see everything. You'll find the link in the description box below. Just give a click and take the next step in your journey. Until next time, keep your heart open, your thoughts high vibe, and your soul curious. This is the High Vibes Podcast. If you like this episode, please subscribe so you don't miss out our coming videos. See you in the next one.